The race to secure new solar energy is heating up across South Africa, with thousands more megawatts needed to bring stability to the country's failing energy grid. Politicians and energy experts all seem to agree that solar is the best way forward. But it's not just the big solar power stations in demand. Big incentives are being promised to households who could feed their own power back into the grid. Newzroom Afrika's Andersen found this report.
Solar energy is the way forward. That's the message from energy experts, mayors around the country, and even President Cyril Ramaphosa himself. While unveiling the government's plan last month to address South Africa's energy crisis, Ramaphosa encouraged South Africans to install solar panels in their homes.
After 1 decade without a reliable supply of energy,
the president stressed that businesses and households should turn to solar in order to feed power onto the national grid. As a result, Eskom is currently working on a set of incentives, rules, and pricing structures. These will allow those with solar panels and with more energy than they need to be able to sell power to Eskom. According to former Eskom and City Power executive, Vali Pariachi, solar power ticks all the right boxes.
It makes good technical, environmental, economic sense that we go for solar, and solar energy, solar power will be here to stay and play a significant role. And the good thing, everybody in the landscape, everybody in the economy, meaning residentials, commercials and industrials, can play a part in that role.
City of Cape Town Executive Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis is pushing ahead with the solar focus too. The Metro has approved its own plan to pay Cape Townians who input their excess solar energy back onto the grid. They will be paid 78 cents per kilowatt hour. Getting the necessary meter required by the city to sell the power isn't cheap. While efforts are underway to reduce the cost, you will currently have to fork out 10,700 rand once off to secure one. There's also a monthly access charge of 96 rand. Some businesses sick of load shedding have already gone big on solar. The Ken Forrester wine farm in the Western Cape has just spent 500,000 rand on its 133 panel installation. The farm believes the installation will pay for itself within 4 years. Bus company Golden Arrow also has big plans. It has ambitions to work with a local manufacturer to buy 60 electric buses from 2024. These buses would all be built locally. So what about Gauteng? The city of Tshwane currently does not allow for electricity to be fed back to the grid. It's now working on new bylaws to change that. The city of Johannesburg is in a similar boat, as it also currently has no regulations around solar power just yet. So with Cape Town currently leading the way, Pariachi says it will be tough for other metros to catch up without entering into key partnerships with the private sector.
We shouldn't reinvent the wheel. I mean, I think metros and Munich must learn from each other, even from Eskom. So if you talk Joburg and Cape Town, Joburg can take the key learnings from Cape Town. But that said, I think the Munichs and government can't do this alone. So they've got to bring in the private sector. And the private sector has the capability, has the abilities, they have the funding mechanisms. And so I think there has to be a partnership approach.
Between President Ramaphosa's promises, desperation to avoid load shedding, and the opportunity for a return on the investment, the sudden surge in demand for solar energy has led to an extended wait as solar installers try to keep up. While there are still plenty of I's to dot and T's to cross, it's clear that solar energy will play a huge part of South Africa's energy future. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Andersen in Johannesburg.